Hey, what's going on, Guardians? TBL here, back with another vendor weapon review, this time for the Dead Orbit Scout Rifle, the Keystone 01. There has been a lot of hype about this gun, and rightfully so. So alright, let's go ahead and get into this. Now, the premier reason for why everybody is super excited for this Scout Rifle is, of course, the great roll that it's coming with this week. It's got that legendary hung jury setup of perks. We're talking about extended mags, snapshot, hammer forged, triple tap, and the all too important Firefly. These three perks, extended mags, triple tap, Firefly, make up one of the best possible combinations you can have for a PvE scout rifle. And it's notable for being very similar to the role of the legendary hung jury from way back in the Taken King. But temper that hype a little bit. These guns aren't exactly the same. The Keystone is in that slower firing, higher impact archetype. And one of the biggest differences between it and the hung jury is the hung jury's huge natural base stability of 53. In addition to being a faster firing gun, the hung jury's base stability just made that thing really easy to control and stay on target. And additionally, you could get even more stability with the hand-laid stock perk, which unfortunately the Keystone vendor roll this week does not have. Then the hung jury also came with the torch sights, which did give it a little bit of a boost to its naturally low aim assist. That's another thing that the Keystone is missing on this week's roll. The Keystone's base aim assist stat is 32, which is kind of a far cry away from something like, say, the Hand of Judgment, which boasts a base aim assist stat of 50, or the Jade Rabbit, which comes with a base of 75. But even without all of that, this is still quite the notable roll for the Keystone. Extended mags pushes this gun's magazine size from 14 up to a very respectable 18. And the overall lack of a stability option there is actually not too difficult to deal with. Thankfully, this archetype of scout fires slowly enough that it's usually pretty easy to recenter your shots. Sight-wise, I'd stick with the first option, the red dot ORA. It's unintrusive, and the zoom on the other two sights can generally throw you off a little bit when you're getting into more close-range encounters. In my testing, none of the sights really available this week do too much to change performance, so it doesn't really matter too much which one you pick. I just picked the one with the least amount of zoom. Now, I suppose I should have said this earlier, but we're only really going to be talking about the PvE viability of the Keystone roll that we got from Dead Orbit this week, and there's a few reasons for that. One, I'm not the biggest fan of the high impact of scout rifles in PvP, even though they have one of, if not the best potential time to kill out of any weapon class in 0.8 seconds if you can get those 3 headshots. But I just never really jive too much on the class outside of the Jade Rabbit, and that might just be because the Jade Rabbit has a ton of aim assist, which makes it feel great for a pleb like me. But I always enjoyed this class in PvE. And the other reason is, of course, that this combination of perks is really good for PvE, and you'll notice that immediately upon taking this weapon out. It's rock solid as a consistent weapon with great damage output potential. Despite the gun's low base stability, recentering your shots is pretty much a breeze. This makes lining up the precision shots to keep proccing triple tap super duper easy, which gives this gun a lot of extended firepower. Seriously, landing those precision hits perfectly gives you something like 5 to 6 extra shots in the magazine, which is a huge overall benefit to the sustained damage viability of this gun. You know, it's almost kind of like your own special discount version of the triple tap, triple double mixture you get on guns like the Chaos Dogma. I mean, it's just a great setup overall for a PvE weapon like this. The mixture between extended mags and triple tap just keeps you firing a lot longer than you would normally be able to. This gun has a naturally low magazine size of about 14 as its base, so getting that up to 17 and beyond, scouts are already the best primary for PvE in my opinion. Being able to fire one that hits as hard as this thing for longer? That's a good thing, especially when you consider that this gun actually has a fairly low reload speed for scout rifles. And then of course this all mixes in perfectly with the perennial crowd-clearing perk of Destiny, Firefly. Oh, how I love Firefly. Firefly is just overall a fantastic PvE precision perk, causing a massive explosion to happen whenever you kill an enemy with a precision hit. That explosion deals a significant amount of damage to enemies surrounding the one you just killed. And generally, the size and potency of the explosion is directly proportional to the impact of the weapon causing it. And since the Keystone is in the maximum impact tier, that explosion's a big one. It's really just the perfect perk icing on the Keystone cake, mixing in great with the bonus magazine size you get from extended mags and the precision shots from triple tap. And despite the gun's low base stability, if you're a fan of the high impact scout rifles, this thing is definitely going to work for you in PvE. It's not quite the hung jury of old, but the Keystone 01 is definitely another fantastic scout rifle in Dead Orbit's coffers. But alright, did you Guardians pick up this week's roll of the Keystone 01 from Dead Orbit? If so, be sure to let us know what you think of it down in the comment section below. But it's going to be it for this one, Guardians. Can't wait to see what comes next week. As always, I am the Black Link. You Guardians stay frosty.